Hi, welcome to Ikate's Crossing. Okay, I haven't done one of these videos for a while. But anyway, so I got the Animal Guide Oracle deck, right? And I thought, now what tarot deck is that actually going to go with? I thought about it with the Native American Tarot. Now I've got two Native American tarots that I could use this with as part of my reading combination of cards. Now there'd be some mixture of Native American oracles with this as well, and then I would choose an animal guide to go with the... I have a specific spreads that I would normally do for a client if wanting to go there. I do have a few Native American oracle decks that I would use in combination with these. I do have a Native American oracle. I've got Sacred Path cards. Do have shamanic medicine cards. So yeah, definitely a few decks that I would use. I do have a few more other animal oracle decks that I could use in combination. Maybe even one of the animal tarot decks, maybe, but more about Native American tarot, Native American oracle type decks with the animal medicine cards. That would be a combination that I could do. Now that's a thought, it's an idea, it's something to play with this deck, something to sort of play with. But let's move on to other thoughts and ideas. Now I could use any animal tarot deck or animal oracle deck in conjunction. Maybe they're going to give further expansion on a message in one of these decks. So let's have a look at some of the animal decks I have. Is Tarot Familiar, which doesn't have a lot of animals in it. It does have Pip Minor Arcana. So that's a Hermit. But yeah, just to give you an idea, do have the Animal Wisdom Tarot that I could use in conjunction with it, or the Meraki Tarot. There are other animal oracle decks that I could use in conjunction to find some sort of message to expand in regards to working with being an animal spirit guide, and maybe some other guides that sort of come in to sort of maneuver in the right direction depending on how you want to use it. That's one way you could do that. Oops. Now the other way I like to use it is maybe looking at other cultures that use animals as guides. Now there is the Celtic. They do have Celtic animals and such like that specifically, but you could use I've got the Universal Celtic Tarot here. You could use any sort of Celtic Tarot deck with the animal guides as well. That is something that you could do. Now, other cultures that use animal are some of the Asian cultures. Some like Japanese or Chinese use animals as part of their thing. Now I know even in Hinduism there are animals in their specific thing, like with Ganesha, with elephant, and now there are other deities which are connected. Now even Egyptian do have different deities that are connected to God, so maybe you could use an Egyptian deck, or I do have a couple of Egyptian decks, but yet let's have a look at the Chinese. I do have the Chinese tarot. So maybe I do have a Chinese oracle as well, or I Ching oracle, that you could use in connection with the animal guide oracle as well. Just other alternatives to try, have a play with, see what works for you. These are some suggestions, some things that I want to look at and dive a little deeper into, and I just thought, you know, maybe that's something that you could dive into, see what works for you, see what Chinese tarot deck you have, maybe even a Japanese. Now I know Japanese do have the dragon, they do have also have the kitsune, firefox. There are others, of course, connected, but maybe you could do Chinese and a Japanese tarot with the animal guides as well. Maybe it's not perfect, but it might just give you a message that's necessary for you to move on with your journey. Just another way that you could dive in. Really, I think you could use any tarot deck you like, whether it's a Rider-Waite-Smith or a Thoth or a Tarot de Marseille if you wanted to, and still use the animal guides. I think it's really personal to what you will use. It just gives you an idea. Let's pull out the Egyptian decks that I do have. I do have a Tarot of Cleopatra. Oops, might help if I actually pull the right one. There it is here. I think with the animal guides, I think you can really pull out any sort of deck that you want. I mean, I even pulled like the jellyfish, and then so decided to pull out the oceanic tarot. So you could then do, say you have a an ocean type animal guide, then you pull out an ocean type, a water type of tarot deck. So here we have the Tarot of Cleopatra, so you could use the Egyptian and then see what animal comes out connecting with it, and maybe, you know, to get a bit more information, have a look and see what the spirit guides in the Egyptian are and what their message could be. So that's something else that you could look into. So there we have the Tarot of Cleopatra and the Art Nouveau Egyptian Tarot as well. So maybe, you know, using with Egyptian oracle cards as well to do a complete reading, and using the animals as a message to come through. And yeah, just something you could do to look into in a different way. So using animal guides with different cultures could be something you could look into. I think there's just so many choices out there to explore, which I think is really exciting when you're working with animals. Now, remembering these are my ideas, my thoughts in working with tarot and oracle decks, Lenormand, Kipper, Sibylla, whatever you want. I think there's any way that you can explore the different tarot decks with this oracle any way you want. This is just some ideas I sort of thought about pulling out, having a quick look, having a thought about it, and then having a play at some stage. So yeah, just some thoughts in pairing. I like to do in themes. So normally with the animal guide, I would look at animal tarot deck, but then I thought, oh, native, and my traditional thought was, of course, Native American tarot, having the sense of animal guides. But then I thought, oh, well, what other cultures use animals? Of course, Celtic use animals in their readings. I mean, I think there's lots of Asian cultures use animals, and I'm sure there's other cultures as well that could explore animals in some way. Okay, that's it from me. Take care and blessed be. Don't forget to check out my Ko-Fi if you wish to have book a reading with me at any time. Take care and blessed be.